Hello, story lovers, and welcome. Get cozy because I have a secret I want to share with you today. It's a story about a little boy, a whole lot of drawings, and a very special kind of magic, one that only wakes up when the rest of the world is fast asleep. Ooh, doesn't that just give you little goosebumps? They mocked his drawings until the night they needed them. Who do you think they were? And what could have possibly happened on that one special night that changed everything? I have so many questions, let's find the answers together. Okay, let's dive right in. Our story is called The Boy Who Drew Cats, and it's all about a young boy whose biggest talent was also his biggest secret. A secret that, believe it or not, held some powerful magic. Now, I want you to picture this in your mind. High up on a misty mountain, so far away from any busy towns, there was this big, quiet temple. And this is where our story starts, with a small boy who lived there. You see, this boy wasn't very interested in reading old books or sweeping the temple floors. Nope, there was only one thing that made his heart truly happy. He absolutely loved to draw cats. And I mean, he drew them everywhere. You'd find sneaky cats peeking from behind paper screens, fluffy cats curled up on the temple walls, and even tiny little kittens traced in the dust on the floor. His whole world was just a parade of perfectly wonderful drawing. But not everyone loved his drawings. The old monks who lived in the temple would scowl and grumble. They'd say, "This is a waste of ink and time." But you know what? Their grumpy words just didn't matter to the boy. For him, drawing was like breathing. He just couldn't stop. He just had to keep drawing his cats. And because he wouldn't stop, the monks finally got so fed up that they did something really, really sad. And this is where our story takes a very lonely turn. So one evening, just as the sun was dipping behind the mountains, they told the boy he had to leave. They pointed to the big temple gates and said, "You can't stay here anymore." Can you imagine how his heart must have just dropped? He was sent away from the only home he had ever known, with just a tiny bag and the big, dark night for company. He wandered and wandered until he found an old, forgotten building. Shivering a little bit, he crept inside a dusty, empty room, and the only thing he had to comfort him were his drawings. He clutched the pictures of his ink and paper friends close to his heart, and since he was so sad and so tired, he just drifted off to sleep. But while our little artist slept, he had no idea what was happening back at the temple, because in the deepest, darkest part of the night, something was waking up. Something terrible was on its way. The clock struck midnight, the darkest, quietest hour of the whole night. And then a sound broke the silence. Scritch, scratch. It was this horrible scraping sound, like long nails on a wooden floor. What could be making that noise? It was monsters, giant, shadowy demons. Their creepy shapes danced on the walls, and their long, sharp claws scrapped across the floors as they slithered through the temple halls, coming closer and closer. But then, just like it always does, the sun began to peek over the mountains. A new morning was here, and with it came a great big mystery. The temple was so quiet, and there were no monsters, not a single one. They had just vanished. It was like a huge battle had been fought. But where did the monsters go? And who were the heroes? The monks were completely puzzled. But then they looked at the walls and at the paper screens. They looked at the little boy's drawings, and they saw something that was just impossible. Look at this. The drawings had totally changed. The boy's ink tats weren't all neat and tidy anymore. Oh no. They were covered in rips and smudges, almost like they had been in a huge, ferocious fight. Can you even believe what happened? The boy's drawings had come to life. A whole army of brave little ink cats had jumped right off the paper. And they fought those terrifying monsters all night long, protecting the very home that had sent their creator away. So when the boy walked back to the temple that morning, everything was different. No one scolded him, no one called his art useless anymore. The monks just looked at him with these wide, amazed eyes. They finally understood. His special talent wasn't a waste of time at all. It had saved every single one of them. He was a hero. And that's the end of the boy's story. But you know what? It's the beginning of yours. Because this story isn't just about magical cats. It's about a secret power that every single one of us has inside. The boy had what we call a quiet talent. And that's just something you love to do, something that makes you happy, that might just hold a secret, amazing power you don't even know about yet. So I want you to think for a second. What's your thing? Maybe you love making up silly songs or building amazing worlds with blocks. Maybe you're really good at listening to a friend, or you can draw the coolest superheroes ever. What is that special thing you do? Even if sometimes other people don't quite get it. Whatever that thing is, that's it. That is your quiet talent. That's your magic, just like the boy and his amazing cats. This amazing story is a very, very old legend from the country of Japan, and it has a really special message for you. Never, ever let anyone make you feel bad for the things that bring you joy. I hope you loved this story. Make sure you subscribe because we have a whole world of stories to share where quiet talents become the biggest adventures of all. Your power is just waiting. We'll see you next time.